Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. All right, let's see. What do these tea leaves have to say? Okay, and I'll mention two things here. First, it's 4th of July right now. So it is in the evening and you might hear some fireworks outside, some booms and things. So that's what that is. I apologize, but I can't make people stop setting off firecrackers and stuff. And then the second thing is the card that I have for the reading tonight is the Hanged Man. All right. This is definitely one of my favorite cards. This is a sign that it is time to let go of something, right? That's usually what it is. A time to kind of, sometimes you have to admit that you're wrong. You have to kind of give up your pride a little bit so that a situation can resolve itself. I mean, it's just kind of knowing when something is going to fail and just kind of you don't keep pushing it. These are all difficult kinds of things that arise in all of our lives, but the good thing about a card like this coming up is that it is kind of the indicator that you are at that point where you're ready to make that decision. All right, so where shall we start? I like my favorite one here. It looks like a person doing cartwheels, and I just kind of love the idea of just kind of being out on the grass there and running and doing cartwheels and flips and enjoying yourself, being young and fit, able to do all these maneuvers without hurting yourself. And it feels like there's a sense of happiness and letting go of things. Cleaning out the closets, not carrying all that heaviness around, all that emotional weight. And down here, I see it looks like a person kind of carrying some kind of like a flag or a banner. I see another person here kind of with their arms up. It seems like in a joyous posture. And the other two that I see here that I'm just seeing a lot of happiness come up is a person with kind of a rainbow over their head, okay, or like a halo, and another person here with a rainbow or a halo. Okay, so to me what this is coming into kind of an awakening, realizing you've kind of been in the muck, right? It feels like, and this, I don't know that this is a huge thing, but just kind of in a more minor way, feeling a little bit out of control of your immediate situation. So for me, what this kind of, the image I get when I think of something like this is like, my example is when my kitchen gets so cluttered. When I come in from, going out and running errands or in and out of the house, coming back from classes, and you just set things down on the counter. And after a couple weeks of this, you try to manage it, of course, but we're busy and cleaning the kitchen normally, but just this one area of a counter that just it's the collect all, right? And things get set there and they don't have they're not in their home or their, stuff that you have to kind of look at and maybe get rid of or whatever. And it starts to get like, it feels daunting. The more you look at it, that you pass by it, you're like, oh, is that thing gonna ever get clean? Will it ever be clean again? And so I think that this can definitely just be the vibe in our life sometimes. It does not have to be your kitchen counter, but it could be anything. It could be your work life, the hours you're working just are not working for you. There's some kind of messiness in your family, extended family, friends group. You're, saying yes to too many things. You don't want to. You're feeling uninvited. Whatever it is. I mean, it could be so many things where it's not necessarily the biggest problem you've ever had, but it's just kind of a lingering, like, ick. Okay? And so I think that, not only do we kind of try to meet these things head on. That's like the ultimate best way to solve things. But sometimes we're not ready for that, are we? Sometimes you have to work up to it. Sometimes it just can't be resolved in that moment. It's just not going to happen. So I think this is my advice is finding something in your life that you can give up. I know it sounds silly, but I think that being able to have some control in your immediate life to resolve something kind of gives you a sense of success, having that control, being able to decide, and it makes you feel powerful. My example here is like giving up soda. You quit smoking. That's a big one. I'm not going to say go and I know that one's hard. That one took me years myself. Thankfully, almost a decade out of it. But, maybe foregoing the television for a couple of weeks. Having less, sugars. Whatever it is. It shouldn't all be food stuff. And let me just say, if there are things around food that, or eating or consumption of anything really, that are, what is that called? Not troubled. It's not troubled, but disordered. If they're disordered, skip over any of that stuff. This advice, okay? it shouldn't become like a focus. I'm not saying that diet and all that stuff should be a focus at all. For me, it was soda, diet soda, because I was drinking it so much. And I still drink soda sometimes, but I had to give it up last year, and it made me feel like, hey, I know I can do this. I know that I can, get it together and decide that I'm not gonna do something, because you forget that you're the master of your own life, and it really made me feel happy and empowered. It really did. And, I think that it's so important to be able to succeed at things. Here's another thing. Maybe, the TV thing, I think with the screen stuff, and I shouldn't say that because I'm on your screen probably, but, just giving up something that you don't have to live, right? And just enjoying the ability to be in control of that. So I just feel like it really brings you into, and I'm looking at this, it looks like a person riding a horse. and with their arm up like a, like they're at the, well, it's not a horse, I guess, that they ride, but, riding a stallion, okay? I was going to say like at the rodeo, but that first is cruel, but second is, it's a bull. So, but yes, the horse, riding the stallion with its own wild spirit, and getting control of the thing, right? And also maybe saving some money depending on what it is that you're doing. And I think that after a while, after a couple of weeks of success, then you can treat yourself to a gift, something that will be fun for you, like going to a special place for a hike, or taking yourself to a movie, maybe going to a concert or a show, going to your favorite museum, something fun that you don't do all the time. And I think this all, kind of all goes together with these feelings of knowing, bliss, control over just the something kind of minor in your own life. But really, if you are on a path of spirituality, this is something that we all have to kind of partake in over and over and over again. It is always about mastering things, about living as simply as we can, to strip down all this excess stuff to get further and further to, whatever that core, authentic being is. Because we wear so many layers of, literal material things, but also our beliefs about the world, about ourselves, about other people, our personas, just different pieces of archetypes and transient understandings and emotions, and, it's a lot. So it is this constant process of kind of grabbing onto something and letting it, trying to dissolve it from self. And so I find that when we feel like we are a bit out of control of this process or our mundane life, it is important to find something that we can control. But not so much. Of course, we must temper ourselves as well. Not become obsessive, fixated. Do this in a way that is easy, okay? I mean, the ending of something, or at least taking a break from anything, can be difficult, especially if it's something that you partake in often. Like for me, I constantly think I should stop drinking coffee. I cut back greatly because my blood pressure was being affected by it, and I felt better. And now I think, well, maybe I'll just drink tea. But I just cannot get it out of my head that I'm just not going to be able to go function without this coffee. Plus, I love coffee. I love the taste of it. So it's been a difficult one. But this one is something that I'm going to have to work up to trying, and it's difficult. So, I want to see, what else do we have here? I see here this eye, and that's what I was getting to, the eye here. And I think that this is it reminds me of an old, like a Masonic, not the, kind of the all-seeing eye, but it is also, there is the eye kind of in the clouds, and this is kind of the cloud of like or the eye of Yahweh, or in these old engravings and lithographs, and it's kind of this like beautiful golden sign of the source, right? Being witness to the source, and the source being witness to you, to be locked into this perpetual back and forth, this loving exchange with something greater than yourself. And surrendering to that divine love. And ultimately, you know, being sustained by it. This is why I think, you know, we see a lot of people who are deeply spiritual or religious. They live lives that are very, very simplistic, away from, you know, the strains of a social life, society, and routines that keep them busy with tasks that are really repetitive, that kind of upkeep the basic functions of the body, and you know, just in prayer, meditation, you know, this kind of stuff. And that's important because it leaves a lot more room, less stimuli to be distracted, but more room to be engaged in that kind of love affair with the universe. And so this, you know, this kind of giving up of things is not exact. I'm not telling you to go, you know, live in a tree in the woods or anything, but I do think that, you know, these little kind of acts of rebellion, you know, of giving things up, saying no more for me, please. These, you know, this is something that really kind of shifts that power dynamic. And, you know, I like this. There's this picture, this meme that I post whenever I see it, like when it comes up in my memories or something. And it was like, we've done so much with so little for so long. Imagine what we will do with nothing. And I think it's something like that. But the point is that we can create entire worlds. We can do so much with so little, and nobody can control us when we are able to succeed in that. We're free to some degree. We're free of the oppression, you know, not only, and I'm not saying of any, like, in particular body of, you know, whatever, ruling, whatever, but of just the thinking we have that we need so much, so many things, right? And we can do so much ourselves. We just have to be more discerning of what we do with what we have, what comes to us, what we are able to obtain. So, you know, but I also have my indulgences, so I'm a hypocrite as anybody else is, right? And, you know, I'm a child of a world of advertising, and I like things. I like shiny things, and I like cool little trinkets and rocks and plants, and you know. So, all we can really do is temper ourselves where we can. Now, I also wanted to look at this one just as a T. Okay, we have a T and we have a 7. Okay, and I think those are important. I don't know why. Could be a name. This one looks like IT, so it looks like it. Oh, and this one too. This is one of my favorite ones here, is the plant in the pot. So plant in the pot. And I've been getting that pretty often in my readings, and I really think that what this has come to be for me in my mind is growth. Just growing, a deeper growing. So I see you flourishing through it all. Things are ultimately going really well. Is there some moodiness? Is there some sadness? Is there, some maybe, what's the word? you know, rising and falling of moods, probably. I feel like that's a lot of us, right? But you're doing well. You're doing well. And you're really, I see you just on your path, staying the course. So I'm looking at this and I see this face. It looks a little sad. But you know what comes to mind as I'm gazing into this? There's the thought that I think, you know, that you should check in with the elder folks of your family. Not because I think anything is necessarily wrong, but I think that they would like to hear from you. I think, you know, there maybe is some loneliness there, and they would like you to, you know, come and visit or speak to them on the phone and let them know that you love them and are thinking of them. I think that's an energy that is kind of floating around here. So I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am always so honored to bring these messages to you. It's 4th of July. I can't believe it. It feels like it was just Christmas. If any of you have been watching the videos, just this year has gone by so quickly. And I feel like the main things, Christmas, then we all were sick with COVID in the spring. And now here we are, like it's already, the year's already half over. I just can't believe it. So, you know, that's life, I guess. It goes. It keeps on moving. So anyways, if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And that helps us reach more and more people. We're getting so many subscribers. I appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. If you want to leave a comment, I read all of them. I love hearing from you. I try to get back to them as quick as I can. Sometimes it takes a day or two. And if you want to share the video, I don't know. It's good for engagement, I guess, is what I'm hearing. So if you want to share the video, I would appreciate that. If not, that's okay too. All right. Thank you, Scorpio. We'll talk again soon.